Good morning, everyone. It's me, Chandrakla. So, the last topic of our first section. Here, a table is given for derived units. We cannot discuss all the units right now, but the important point here is in first column, the name of the physical quantity is written. In second column, definition, that means we will say the formula is written. And as we have already discussed that if we want to derive a unit, then we should know its formula, because from formula we will get the basic units, and with the help of basic units we will derive the units. So we have to remember the formula. Without formula we cannot derive a unit. One or two I can explain to you, but rest of the things you have to read it by yourself. For example, momentum. Okay, so the definition is momentum is the product of mass and velocity. Its definition is also same, that is mass and velocity. Actually, momentum is related with kinetic energy. That means you can say how much potential a body is having. If the body will have more potential, it will have more momentum, and hence if we will convert it into kinetic energy, it will have more kinetic energy. Likewise, okay, so that is known as momentum, which is a obviously we have two types of momentum, linear and angular. So this is linear momentum, which is represented by capital P. So that is known as mass into velocity. We have to derive SI unit, because in physics we will work with SI units only. So for mass, the SI unit we have already seen is kilogram. And for velocity and speed will have same unit. However, they are different things. Speed is equal to distance upon time, whereas velocity is equal to displacement upon time. But distance is also length and displacement is also length. So it will also have unit as meter per second, and it will also have unit as meter per second. The difference is speed will not have any specific direction, but velocity will have a specific direction. So the unit for velocity is meter per second. Actually this unit itself is a derived unit. This is not basic unit, because we have derived it from this formula. So this is a derived unit, that is meter per second. So that means actually for momentum we have got a unit, that is kilogram meter per second. This is the SI unit for momentum. Okay, we can see one more. Anything, let it be frequency, which is represented by small f. We know that frequency and time period are reciprocal of one another. So 1 upon 1 does not have any unit, because it's simply a numerical value. And for time period is nothing but a time. So the SI unit of time will be second. So therefore for frequency we are having a unit 1 upon second, or you can say 1 per second, or you can say second inverse, which has been again given a name Hertz. So this is one name which we will have to remember, but during exam if we will forget, we can write second inverse also, that is also correct. So likewise many physical quantities are given here, for which we have to derive the units. But the most important thing which we have seen is we should know the units of fundamental quantities. That means fundamental units we should know, then only we can derive the derived units, as well as we should know the formula for that. Our next topic is some guidelines are given to write down the units. That means how we will write down the units. In the derived units, some units have given some special names also. That is because if we will be continuously using only fundamental units, then it will become very lengthy and complicated. It's not possible to remember them, and it's also not possible to write them every time. So they have been given some special names also, that you will get in your table. So in guidelines, our first point is if we are having any unit which is not given after the name of any scientist. That means the first point is not given after the name of any scientist. We will write them in the small letters. Okay, small letters, and generally only just by first word. For example, for meter we will use meter, for kilogram we will use kilogram. So likewise we will use it. Second point is, if the name is given after the name of scientist, then we have two things. If we are representing it only by a single word, for example, if we have a unit Newton, this is the unit, okay, unit for force is known as Newton. So if we represent the answer or the unit, just we want to represent by the single alphabet, one alphabet, then we will write it in the capital letters. But if we want to write down this full unit, then we will use it in the small letters only, as we have used here. For example, if you want to write down 10 newtons, then you have two methods. First, you can write down 10 n, that means 10 Newton. But if you want to write down this full name, then we will write down it in the small letters, that is 10 Newton. And when we are writing this full, we also use plural, that is 10 Newtons. Or simply you can write down 10 Newton also. Okay, then the next thing is, actually, if we are writing the full unit, then we will always write it down in the smaller units, as we have seen here. That means here also we have written it in the smaller units, and here also the symbols we have used in the smaller units. If it is named after a scientist, then we will use capital. For example, Joule, we will use capital J, and for this we will use Newton. Sometimes if they are having if suppose two units are there and they are starting from the same alphabet, then we can use two alphabets also. For example, one word is Henry and one word is Hertz. This is the unit of frequency, this is for magnetic flux, H. So that means what we want, if we want to write down Hertz, we will write this one. Otherwise, if we want to represent magnetization, we will use capital H also. So if there is any such confusion, we can use two words also. Okay, next point is, if we are writing this as full, then we can use plural. For example, 10 meters. Okay, we can write 10 kilometers. Okay, then we can use actually plurals. But if we are writing only first alphabet to represent a unit, then we cannot use plural. That means whether that is 10, that is 100,000 or 10,000, that doesn't matter. If we are representing it by m, we will write 10 m. We will not write 10 ms, it will become something else, it will become milliseconds. And similarly 10 kilometers, similarly 10 kilogram. Likewise, that means if we are representing it by these letters only, then we will not write down them in plural, we will write down the single name. Next thing is, our unit can be made up of multiplication of two or more units, or it can be made up of division of two or more units, and it can be the combination of both. So as the unit is, we will work accordingly. For example, if we are looking for the definition of torque, which is represented by τ. Actually, torque is the product of force and perpendicular distance. What is torque? As I said, we should know the formula, otherwise we cannot derive the unit. So this is multiplication, force and perpendicular distance. For force, we are having a unit Newton, and for distance is actually a length, so it will be meter. So I have kept here multiply because both these quantities were getting multiplied, so I kept here multiply symbol. If you don't want to keep here multiply, then just put here one dot, which we generally use. Generally, most of the time we use this method. Okay, otherwise you just keep some distance between them, because in mathematics we have already learned that if there is nothing between two numbers, that means there is multiplication. Right down, right? So in the same way it is, you can write down with a multiplication symbol, with a dot symbol, or with some space in between them. Similarly, if something is in the divided form, then also we will use in the same way, as we have seen a lot of things, that is speed is equal to distance upon time. So distance is meter, time is second, so we can write meter per second. This means per second. Otherwise, if you will simply write meter divided by second, that is also correct. And then we can take this second in numerator also. Whenever we will take denominator to numerator or numerator to denominator, its power will change. So here if it is +1, when we will take it to numerator, it will be -1. So there are many methods to write down this. We can use any one. And our this method has used one more concept here, that is, if we are taking any particular thing from numerator to denominator or denominator to numerator, it changes its symbol. For example, here in the numerator it is second inverse. If you will bring it to the denominator, it will be divided by second only, because this -1 will be converted into +1, and plus means this same, meter upon second. Second means here nothing is written, means here the power is +1, second raised to power +1, because we brought this -1 here and it became +1. Similarly, if we will take it here, then this +1 will become -1. Likewise, we works in physics. When we even solve the numericals, then also sometimes we have to use 10 raised to power 5 or 10 raised to power -5. So all these things have the same concept only. Next point is, as we have already learned, that means we can use a prefix. If we don't want to increase the numerical values, we can use a prefix, and for that we have learnt everything. That means kilo, mega, giga, micro, milli, all these we have learned. That means to increase or decrease the value, to increase or decrease the value, we can use a prefix. But the problem is, at one time we can use a single prefix. That means we cannot use more than one prefix, more than one prefix at a time, prefix at a time. That means if you have already said that 1 megawatt, then you cannot say 1 mega gigawatt or 1 mega kilowatt. That means for anything we have used kilo, suppose kilowatt, and if we want, then we can go next to 10 kilowatt, then we can go to 100 kilowatt. But when it becomes 1000 kilowatt, then we will go for megawatt instead of this kilo, because we know that mega means 6, and in kilo and mega, kilo means 10 raised to power 3, so the relation will be 10 raised to power 3, so we can go for megawatt. But here simultaneously we cannot use kilo and mega. Now, either we will use kilo or we will use mega. If we will use kilo, then we will have this numerical value also here. Otherwise, we can use mega. However, when we solve the numerical questions, then we have to remove the prefix and we will have to keep our value whatever it is. And the next point is, if we are saying about power of something, that then power is on that whole number. For example, one example is given, kilometer cube. That means this kilometer cube means this is the cube on kilo also and on meter also, and kilo means we know that 10 raised to power 3 and meter means meter, so whole power 3. This is the meaning of this kilometer cube. So that means separately when we will solve it, then it will become 10 raised to power 9 and it will become 10 raised to power plus 3. That means meter raised to power 3. So here we will not make the mistake. We cannot put it equal to 10 raised to power 3 meter cube. This is not like this. Already kilo means 10 raised to power 3, and then kilo is having a power on it. So the power will be solved according to this one. Thank you.